That should do it. Oh, it's working. Welcome. I'm so glad you could be here with us today to try out my latest invention, Interactovision. This device allows guests to visit us here in West Wallaby Street without having to leave the comfort of their own homes. Quite handy for stopping off at a distant granny's, don't you think? And wherever we go, you can come along. There's Gromit playing a spot of chess. Let's walk over and have a look. That's interesting, but let's talk to Gromit first. They're not playing. Let's ask Gromit. You can use your Interactovision mouse to choose characters and things you want to interact with. I've built in brackets that will highlight the item on your screen. Dead handy that. Point at Gromit and click the left mouse button. Things seem to be at a bit of a standstill. How's the match going, Gromit? Oh dear. Gromit might have more to share. I find out about all sorts of different things just by asking. Let's interact with that broken chess piece the same way we did with Gromit just now. How on earth did that happen? Getting competitive now, are we? This is a pickle, isn't it? Well, perhaps our new guest can help us find a replacement piece to get the game back on. There must be something in this room we can substitute for that bishop. Why don't we walk around and investigate items the same way as before? Cheese. Sometimes I come across things I want to carry around with me. With Interactovision, you can see all of the things I've picked up. Hey, look at that. God save her, eh? The porridge gun, the latest in high-speed breakfasts and brunch defense. Good for cheering up the dog, maybe, but that's about it. My bed lever. Quite the wake-up call. Would you like some cheese, Gromit? All the more for me then. That's a lovely shape. Worth thinking about. I built this automatonic chess master for Gromit to challenge, and it generally puts up quite a fight. It's programmed to select the absolute best move possible, given any situation. How's it working, lad? A piece for your game, Gromit. Oh, you've still got 2 queens. Might confuse things a bit, don't you think? So this won't do. Here, Gromit, it's the spitting image of your bishop. This should work nicely. Bless you, lad. Well done and good thinking. You're getting clever with the Interactovision. Just the sort of ingenuity we could use around here, right, Gromit? Thanks for stopping by. Do come back soon. Breakfast time, Gromit. Bombs away. Another perfect landing. Your turn to make breakfast, Gromit. Eggs, I think. And toast with honey today. Step to it, lad. I'm famished. Hey! Eggs today, Gromit, not porridge. Well, what did the postman bring us then? Any orders? Hand it over, lad. Did you bring the mail, Gromit? Oh, no. Final demand? Oh, no. There's payment due now. And a disconnection? Nothing but bills, Gromit. I can't look at these before I have my breakfast. If we don't find some steady customers soon, I don't know how we'll make ends meet. Oh, all right then. I'll open one, but just the one. Seems your subscription to Marrow Growers Monthly is up for renewal. Don't suppose you'd consider cancelling? Thought not. Oh, better pay up then. Now, where did I put my pen? Ah, yes. Hey! That dog is getting a little too independent, if you ask me.
Hi, Wallace. Benny here. Sorry to leave a message, but it's about that incident in my shop. That blinking mechanical mouse of yours has put me in a right pickle. Happening maybe a sniffer 3000 with advanced cheese tracking capabilities, but it chewed through all me Wensleydale and me Red Leicester too. Now, I know we've always been on good terms, but this morning I find myself not inconsiderably discombobulated, and I can't let it happen again, I'm afraid. I'm sorry to say that with the deepest regret, and following police advice, you and your blinking contraptions are banned from my establishment until further notice. Wallace, old chap, Crumb here, Major Crumb. Word in your shell like, can't say where it came from, mum's the word, but I'm getting intelligence of unusual airborne activity in your sector. Can't say more than that. Walls have ears, don't you know? But if you take my advice, you look to the heavens and take cover. Going to get pretty sticky is my guess. Terror from the skies. Death and destruction raining down. That sort of thing. Just make sure you and your men stay indoors. Over and out.
This is a recorded message for Mr. Wallace of 62 West Wallaby Street from Police Constable Dibbins. That's Delta Indigo Bravo Bravo Indigo November Sierra. Regarding the prototype sniffer 3000 patent pending that was taken into custody at 15:30 hours yesterday afternoon following a disturbance at Mr. Panier's General Stores and Quickie-Mart. The aforesaid invention will remain in my custody until such time as you, the registered keeper, are able to demonstrate that it no longer poses a threat to public order. In the meantime, I should warn you, it's already nabbed the cheese sandwiches what Mrs. Dibbins put in my lunchbox, and I've a mind to the packing thing to scrap. Good morning.
I hope for that advanced consider deepest rate established.
That, Gromit, was the sound of my belly. It's saying what I'm too polite to mention. Breakfast is late. Cracking eggs, Chuck. But done to a turn. My compliments to the chef. But I can't break my fast without honey. Honey? How sweet of you, Gromit. Now that's what I call a breakfast feast. Wasn't so difficult, was it, lad? With a hearty plate of eggs and toast under me belt, I'm ready to take on the world. Gromit, I've a strange feeling this is the day our fortunes are going to change.
Morning, Wallace. May I have a word?
If it's about yesterday's little mishap.
Oh, no, you see...
I can assure you it was an accident, Mr. Panier, and I'll certainly pay for the damage to your grocery shop. I was just putting the Sniffer 3000 through its paces. It's still only a prototype, you know.
Oh, I realize that, Mr. Wallace.
And what better place to test out a cheese detector than in a shop with such an excellent selection of cheeses?
Happen. But you'll still have to pay for the damage, I'm afraid.
Yes, of course. I'll put it all right. Though funds are, how can I put this, a little tight at the moment. Only until our new business is up and running.
Aye, well, that's what I'm here to talk about. I understand you and Gromit are in the honey business now.
Fresh deliveries daily, from bee to you.
Ah, well, perhaps I can help you get on your feet. I'm having my annual sounding of the Crumpets Festival, and I'm clean out of honey. Can you deliver 50 gallons?
50 gallons?
By tonight?
Tonight?
It'll more than cancel your debt, and it'll be good advertising for you. What do you say?
I say... yes! We're in business, lad! Heads up, no time for slacking. From B to U has landed its first major order. 50 gallons of honey by tomorrow. I want this place to be a hive of activity. It's your chance to show the world what sort of workers you are. They're certainly buzzing with excitement. Or maybe they're hungry. Did you remember to feed them this morning, Gromit? Never mind, lad. I'll do it. My workers think the world of their monarch. Oh, see what I mean? Something to cogitate on. Place could use a good spring cleaning. The magnetronic pollinator is the linchpin of the operation. My workers get their rations mechanically. No foraging in flower beds for them. Nothing like an inspirational poster to boost worker productivity. For some reason, my boys aren't terribly fond of this one. The bees love my motivational posters. I don't want any accidents on my shop floor. The remote control for my Sniffer 3000. Too bad about the teething problems. Still, this might come in handy. Flowers, the perfect meal for a hungry hive. Bon appetit. Oh! Not exactly a flood, is it? Flowers, Gromit. That's the weak link in our production chain. We need more flowers. Any more honey to speak of? Not enough flowers to tip the balance yet. Not to worry, I've got a few ideas. Now where can I find a whole lot of flowers in a hurry? So that's where the dog tags went. I'm sure Gromit will be glad to get them back. An important message from Rex Armstrong, bodybuilder extraordinaire. I'd better hang on to it if it's so important. And if it's... Great news, Gromit. I found those dog tags you misplaced. Now you can walk around looking official. It isn't like Gromit to be so absent-minded. Silicon flowers. Can't feed those to my bees. They demand the organic variety.
Beautiful morning, Mr. Wallace. I'm pleased to see you've emerged from your subterranean lair.
Watering makes flowers grow faster.
Though it works best if you've planted some first.
No flowers in here. Been doing a spot of gardening, have you, Miss Flit?
Working my green fingers to the bone. But the hard work appears to be paying off.
Indeed it does.
Blooms everywhere. I call it my purple paradise.
It certainly looks delicious. I mean, I imagine it would look delicious if you were an insect.
You mean if I were a bee?
Well, now you mention it,
You want to feed my flowers to your bees?
that is, if you don't mind,
How many would you like?
as many as you can spare.
Oh, you can have all you want, Mr. Wallace.
Oh, much obliged, Miss Flit.
Here, you can jolly well grow your own.
Righto. That flower hasn't bloomed yet.
I know it hasn't, the lazy thing. Oh, but the wait will be worth it.
Oh,
This flower will be the piece de resistance of my purple paradise. And the scent, absolutement everywhere. I'm simply mad about the purple pansy.
That's a healthy looking, what do you call it?
Foxglove. If you want to grow them, you've got to know them. Such a fragrant bouquet. Have you noticed? I put a new roof on Mr. Nutter's house.
Mr. Nutter?
Surely you're acquainted with our neighbour, Mr. Nutter, the squirrel.
I'm not on first name terms with any of the neighbourhood animals, I'm afraid.
What about Gromit?
Oh, no, he isn't either.
Where's that dog of yours?
He's in the cellar, supervising our bees.
You keep bees in your cellar? How very odd.
Oh, there wasn't space in the dining room.
Have you noticed? I put a new roof on...
Miss...
What's a...
Oh... Better attend to my garden. The bees are expecting a big supper.
There now. With hard work and a little luck, you should have a nice bed of flowers in 2 or 3 months.
I can't wait 2 or 3 months. I've got a deadline. This evening.
No, you poor simple man. Nothing grows that quickly.
I wonder. Rex Armstrong's Quick Grow Muscle Formula. Watch them sprout in seconds. If it works on people, perhaps I could adapt it to work on flowers. 3 miracle ingredients. Grow-Team, Energize, Strongium. Well, I need a miracle, and fast. Shouldn't be too tricky to knock up a batch myself. Then we'll see who's got the grandest garden in West Wallaby Street. The hive will be humming in no time.
Caught you! Can't take an old soldier by surprise.
Morning, Major Crumb.
It is, if you don't mind enemy invasions.
I beg your pardon.
Didn't you get my message? Received intelligence of a major air assault. Expect the sirens to sound any minute. Hope you know where your nearest air raid shelter is.
I do recall something about that, but Major Crumb, are you sure you're not mistaken?
I know. I've made predictions before, but I'm not crying wolf. This time, I've got proof.
Not that I wouldn't take any kind of aerial disturbance over West Wallaby Street seriously, you understand, but...
Just pray your house isn't reduced to a pile of smoking rubble, and don't stray too far. You'll want to be close to a shelter when the sirens go off.
No, Major. But still...
And if you don't believe me, I invite you to inspect the evidence.
A jar?
It's what's inside the jar that counts. Incontrovertible evidence that the enemy is on the move.
Does it? I can only see a snail.
Of course it's a snail. But what's she trying to tell us? That's the important thing.
What is she trying to tell us?
Look at her, man. She's retreated into her shell in the middle of the day. And that means only one thing. It means she knows trouble is about to strike from the heavens. Law of nature, Wallace. Learned it in France during the war. Never wrong yet.
Snails can predict imminent airborne disturbances. I never learnt that in school.
Of course not. They never teach anything useful in schools. But when you hear the sirens, you know I'm right. Good man, Wallace. I see you at least appreciate the seriousness of the situation. Now spread the word. If people don't believe what an old soldier has to say, perhaps they'll listen to the snail. You're looking at my case, aren't you, Wallace?
Well, I suppose I was, Major.
Bet you'd like to know what's inside.
I am curious, yes.
Ah! This case is packed full of government-issue protein bars.
Routine.
Rations, Wallace. Emergency rations for... emergencies, obviously. Been stockpiling them since the war. Enough nutrition in them to feed a man under fire for a whole day.
And very tasty they look, too.
Tasty? They're foul, but packed with high-strength protein.
I'd love to try one.
Out of the question, I'm afraid. You don't have clearance. And besides, protein bars are only issued in the event of civil emergencies. Orders are orders, Wallace.
Couldn't you spare just one protein bar?
Stop this insubordination at once, man! They are for emergencies only, when supply lines are down and a man's got no other way of keeping his strength up.
But if, as you say, we're expecting some kind of airborne incursion...
Indeed we are, expecting the air raid sirens any minute.
Ah.
Well, if it isn't Wallace. I had a notion you'd be nosing round the police station this morning.
Morning, Constable Dibbins.
You're off to an early start today. Not planning any more visits to the shops, are you?
Oh, no. Yesterday was a one-off. I'm in town on business.
Is that so? Here on business, you say, Wallace? What line are you in these days?
Honey, Constable Dibbins, from B to U, piped fresh to your home or workplace daily. Do you have a sweet tooth, Constable?
Well, I have been known to dollop it on a crumpet now and again.
Then perhaps you'd like to subscribe.
I only procure my honey from reputable sources.
You can rely on From B to U for your honey needs, Constable. As our motto says, all the sweet and none of the sting.
So long as it's nothing like your Sniffer 3000 cheese detecting device.
Put your mind at ease, Constable. All our bees are bonded and insured.
Not killer bees from abroad, are they?
Certainly not. They're West Wallaby Street born and bred.
That's so much, I suppose.
Oh, there's Miss Sniffer 3000, banged up like a common criminal. Breaks my heart. That cheese detector's not a bad machine, just a bit overkeen. It's all the energites in its system. Energites? It seems to me, yes. Energites is one of the ingredients in Rex Armstrong's Quick Grow Muscle formula. I used my last Energite battery to fuel the sniffer. I'll have to get it back if I want to finish the formula.
Ah, Mr. Wallace.
That looks like... Can it really be cheese?
Indeed it is, Wallace. Wensleydale, your favourite?
And am I to take it that these are...
Yes, free samples. Go on, tuck in.
Don't mind if I do, Mr. Paneer. One for now. And one for later.
Mr. Wallace, I've got something for you.
Much obliged.
Have you come to deliver my order?
It's not quite ready yet, I'm afraid.
You're not going to disappoint me. Not after yesterday's little incident.
Oh, no. You can count on from me to you.
Don't forget, Mr. Wallace, 50 gallons by sunset.
The Sniffer 3000 wasn't cut out for prison life. It runs on energides, not porridge. Mr. Paneer will unveil my honey at tonight's Festival of Crumpets.
Is that so? Well, if Mr. Paneer's prepared to take a chance on you, I suppose I can too.
So, can I sign you up for my honey service, Constable Dibbins?
I'll pop over to Mr. Paneer's and have a taste, if I like it. And there's no undesirable side effects. We'll see.
So, can I sign you up?
I'll be.
Me poor Sniffer 3000. I only just put the finishing touches on it yesterday, and it's already fallen afoul of the law. I noticed you received my petition for early release of the Sniffer 3000, Constable Dibbins.
Yes. And I notice it's attracted the signatures of just one man and his dog.
We're only appealing for natural justice.
But your blinking cheese detector thingamy, what do you call it, destroyed an entire grocery store.
Teething problems. It's still only a prototype.
A prototype? It's a villain, if you ask me. A diabolical device. You can see that in its face.
My machine isn't evil, Constable Dibbins. It's just got a short fuse and a few loose nuts.
We'll see. I'm going to formally interview this glorified tin can of yours, and if it can convince me that it's not a menace to society, then perhaps I'll release it into your custody. You there, prisoner. Kindly look at me when I'm talking to you. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Look at me. Cheeky blighter. We've had our little chat.
And?
I'm afraid there's no talking to your sniffer. Hardwired for criminality, I'd say.
The Sniffer 3000 wasn't cut out for prison life. It runs on energides, not porridge. The sniffer's just trying to get to the cheese, but the machine sounds like it's crying. Oh, almost brings a tear to my eye just watching. Can you see fit to grant my appeal, Constable Dibbins?
Not on your Nelly. That heap of nuts and bolts is now but trouble. Couldn't give me a single straight answer when I tried to interrogate it.
It only responds to certain commands. I know, I programmed it. Perhaps you could try a gentler approach?
Well, I'll have another chat with it. More friendly-like.
Oh, yes. Much obliged, Constable Dibbins.
I ain't promising nothing, mind. Time we had a little chat. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Don't know why I bother. I'm too soft, me. No change, I'm afraid. And its moral compass seems to be badly malfunctioning.
How long do you intend to hold my sniffer 3000, Constable Dibbins?
As long as the law requires.
It's not malicious, it just malfunctions from time to time.
Is that so?
And sometimes it short circuits when it gets overheated.
Perhaps it does.
Why don't you try talking to it once more?
All right. Once more. You there, prisoner. If that's his attitude, he can rot in jail as far as I'm concerned. Why do I listen to you, Wallace? That heap of scrap hasn't changed its ways, and never will.
Well, did you do as I asked?
Cold toast. Shame to let it go to waste. Oi, come back here, you thieving rascal. That's my tea bag.
I won't have you threatening that dear little creature. Not while he's in my garden. You've come buzzing back, Mr. Wallace. As a bee to a blossom, eh?
Well, did you do as I...
Have you brought it, Mr. Wallace? don't understand the delay. It's only 50 gallons of honey.
Well, the bees get a bit confused. They're on the modern metric system, you see. Takes them a while to do the conversion.
Oh. Don't forget, Mr. Wallace.
Well, did you do as I asked?
Awfully long drop. Last night's bedtime snack. Gorgonzola makes a nice change from Wensleydale.
And to what do I owe the pleasure of this return visit?
Not sure how I'd pull that off. Must be awfully hot under that helmet, I reckon. A sunny day like today.
It's a trifle sweltering, yes. But danger and discomfort are all in the line of duty for an officer of the law, though most folk don't appreciate it.
Constable Dibbins, please will you give the Sniffer 3000 one more chance?
You're very insistent, Wallace.
Only I've made a few minor adjustments to its remote control. I think you'll find it a reformed character now.
I'll be the judge of that. You there, prisoner. Kindly look at me when I'm talking to you. That's more like it. Now you've had time to think, what can you tell me about what happened yesterday? Feel bad about what you did, do you? He's weeping. Maybe this contraption's got feelings after all. Now, I want a truthful answer. If I release you from custody, will you do it again? Well, I'll be damned. The prisoner has been interviewed.
Yes?
And having exhibited signs of repentance, I am prepared to release him into your protective custody, provided, Wallace, you give me an assurance that you'll keep your blinking eye on him. Or it. Or whatever he answers to.
Oh, I'll keep an eye on him, Constable Dibbins. You have my word on that.
Hey up, Wallace, love. How's business?
Lovely. Yes, indeed.
So, Wallace, in the honey business now, I hear.
Oh, you've heard the buzz, have you?
Oh, indeed I have. It's all over town.
It'll never get off the ground. Stupid idea, if you ask me.
And nobody dead.
Couldn't get honey out of a honey jar, that one!
Excuse my husband. He's a right misery gut sometimes.
So, might you be interested in signing up for my honey deliveries, Mrs. Gabberley? Fresh daily.
Ooh, I should say so. I'm partial to a spot of honey for my tea.
Waste of money! We'll never see honey for tea, or breakfast for that matter.
Oh, shut up, you. Wallace knows what he's doing. He's got a head for business.
Is that a head? I took it for a parsnip.
Pay him no mind.
If you'd like to sample my honey, Mrs. Gabberley, there'll be a free tasting tonight at Mr. Panneer's Tea and Crumpet Festival.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'll have to pop by.
I wouldn't bother. He'll never make the delivery.
Uh-oh.
Hey, it's not closing time yet.
Your husband seems a trifle miffed.
Don't fret, pet. He's always miffed about summit.
I'll leave that where it is.
Ta-ra! Bye then!
Could those be? I couldn't help but notice the flowers on your window ledge, Mrs. Gabberley.
Aye, lovely, aren't they? Bring a touch of summer to the town square. Especially the purple pansies. Always been partial to pansies, me. You should see the flat. It's full of them.
They're blinking weeds, if you ask me. Can't abide them.
Oh, go and suck a lemon, you moaning ninny.
Ah!
Oh, now look what you've done, you clumsy oaf. And open up that window when I'm yelling at you.
All right, but only to prove your insults don't get to me anymore. I can deflect them all.
Is that so?
I'd be happy to take these flowers off your hands, Mrs. Gabberley. That is, if they make your husband unhappy.
That's a good reason to keep 'em, to my way of thinking. But go ahead if you want 'em.
Much obliged. Pardon me, Mrs. Gabberley. I wonder, that is, could you spare a...
Verb.
Sorry?
Give me a verb, Wallace. An action word.
Oh, playing a word game, are we?
In a manner of speaking.
Oh, well, let's see. A verb. Chew is an action.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good one. Now I need a thing.
A thing.
Aye, you know, something physical you could touch.
Something I can touch. Toad?
Why not? Now a descriptive word, if you please.
Put down potty.
Oh, that's a corker, that is. Last one, nearly done. I need another thing. Or like a person or animal.
A person or animal? Now, let me see now. Gentleman?
Yes, that's a thing. Hey!
What is it now?
Go chew! A toad! You potty! Gentleman!
I must be potty. I married you. Gentlemen. Oh, that's hitting below the belt.
A good solid insult, I thought. But maybe we need to think different.
That was an interesting word game, Mrs. Gabberly.
Want to play again? I need a word, Wallace.
How about cheese? It's one of my favourites.
No, an action word.
Oh, yes, an action word. Pop is a nice action word.
Fine, that'll do. Now a thing, if you please.
Right, a thing. Toad?
Why not? Now a descriptive word, if you please.
Mild?
You're good at this. And finally, a person or a thing.
A person or a thing? Gentleman?
Yes, that's a thing. Hey!
What is it now?
Go, punk! A toad, you mild gentleman!
Hey! You do know how to wound a bloke, Winnie.
Got him that time. Serves him right for being such a grumpy old grandad.
Would you mind, if I, that is, could you see your way fit to lending me that pot of pansies, Mrs. Gabberly, for business purposes?
Business purposes? Well, be my guest. I've got bunches of them.
Well, did you do as I asked?
You're persistent in your attentions this morning, Mr. Wallace.
Here you are, little fella. Try some toast.
Yes, do feed him. I'm sure the little mite's hungry. What are you looking for exactly? Back again, Mr. Wallace? I'm flattered.
I wonder, Miss Flit, if you would be so kind as to, hand me that tea bag.
Tea bag, Mr. Wallace? What tea bag?
The one on your, ooh.
Are you feeling quite well, Mr. Wallace?
Miss Flit, if you'll just take a look at the pansies, I think you'll...
I told you, Mr. Wallace. I refuse to let those yellow hooligans have the satisfaction of... Oh, Paul, you see? They're mending their ways. They just needed a firm talking to, that's all. Mother forgives you, you naughty little pansies. Sweet satisfaction, Mr. Wallace.
Yes, indeed. Very sweet. I realise this may seem a trifle irregular, but Major Crumb insisted I show you this. It's... oh.
A snail? In my garden? mind, Wallace?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I wonder where Major Crumb disappeared to.
Wallace, thank heavens you made it to the shelter. I'd given you up for lost. Caught in the crossfire, were you? Stop pacing about, Wallace. You're making the rest of the men nervous. You've got to get your mind off the carnage up there. Would you like to hear one of my old war stories? I'd help pass the time.
Well, I hate to...
Of course you would. I brought visual aids. I can still see it perfectly after all these years.
Pardon me, Major. About those protein bars of yours.
Rations, Wallace. Emergency rations for... emergencies, obviously. Been stockpiling them since the war. Enough nutrition in them to feed a man under fire for a whole day.
And very tasty they look, too.
Tasty? They're foul, but packed with high-strength protein.
I'd love to try one.
Out of the question, I'm afraid. You don't have clearance. And besides, protein bars are only issued in the event of civil emergencies. Orders are orders, Wallace. By George, this is an emergency! Private Gromit! I hereby issue you one protein bar. Guard it well, and see that it lasts you all day. Wallace, here's one for you as well.
Much obliged.
Oh, there I was, back with my men, back in the thick of it, marching along under the blazing
Make
sun.
your queen proud, lads.
I can still see it perfectly. After all these years, it was toward the end of the war. There I was, marching with my regiment across those God-forsaken plains. It was June, I think. A most unusual June, coldest on record. As I recall, there was a foot of snow on the ground. Actually, come to think of it, it may have been January. I can tell you with confidence it was a month that started.
Now, there's a sight.
That's me posing with Mother next to my 40mm Bofors. Look at the size of that monster. Big Betty, we called her. The gun, not my mother. I can still see it perfectly. After all these years, it was toward the end.
Who's that fellow?
That's me as a young recruit, off to basic training. How I cried when they cut off my golden curls. But I cheered up as soon as they issued me with a beautiful set of dog tags. Dashed useful dog tags. If you happen to forget your rank or name, you've got it right there. Never go into battle without your dog tags, Wallace. I can still...
What a face.
That's me kitted out for heavy combat. That helmet took many a dent before the war was through. Without it, I could have become seriously loopy. Take my advice, Wallace. Never go into battle without a regulation helmet like the one in this picture.
Sounds like you were quite a soldier, Major Crumb.
Well, Wallace, why the past tense?
Oh dear.
Once a soldier, always a soldier. Something you civilians will never grasp. And I'd be happy to prove it by charging into the fray. That is, if I were recommissioned and had a proper helmet with a cute little brim, and if I could find someone to take charge of this shelter and distribute the protein bars.
I thought you might find this useful, Major Crumb.
A helmet! By George, Wallace, there's nothing like a good helmet. Makes a fellow want to put himself in the path of projectiles. If you know what I mean. But I haven't been recommissioned.
I found these in the hall, Major Crumb.
Dog tags! By I've been recommissioned. Bound to happen, of course. Can't leave good military material sitting on the shelf. My place is in the trenches. By thunder, I'm a soldier again. St. George is ready for his dragon. And yet, duty compels me to remain here. No one else to guard the grotine bars. Confounded sense of duty.
Gromit could do the job.
Private Gromit? Can I entrust my precious cache of grotine bars to a Pongo? Perhaps so. He's proven himself a trusty foot soldier. Yes. If I am called away to the front, I'd feel comfortable leaving Private Gromit in charge. Good heavens! I shouldn't be skulking around in a cellar like a frightened rat. I'm a soldier, by thunder! Private Gromit, I hereby appoint you officer commanding this air raid shelter. Here, you pass out the rations. I've got a war to win. Charge!
Plans are proceeding apace, Gromit. Just a few kinks to work out, and we'll soon be up to our necks in honey. Carry on. I already did that. Plans are proceeding apace, Gromit. Just a few kinks to work out, and we'll soon be up to our necks in honey. Carry on. The Mix-O-Matic will be perfect for whipping up a tasty growth formula. One unit of energized fluid for a creamy finish. One dose of strontium into the mix. One generous chunk of protein to give it texture. Now to mix up my very own quick grow muscle formula. That ought to do it. No, the Mix-O-Matic's all mixed up. Stop! Stop! Help! Gromit! Oh, thanks, lad.
Checking to see if anything's sprouted yet, Mr. Wallace.
Well, as a matter of fact, Miss Flit.
Really? I don't see what you're hoping to... Oh! I don't believe it!
It works! It works! The homemade quick grow miracle muscle formula works! We're in business, lad. You see, Gromit, look where a bit of enterprise can get you. If I hadn't found that flyer you chucked in the bin, I'd never have been able to concoct my miracle grow formula. And then where would we be? You really must be careful what you chuck out, you know? Blinking Nora!
Oh, my word! I think I'm going to faint.
This ought to be plenty of fuel for the old pollinator. Well, no. Bon appetit. Oh. Not exactly a flood, is it?
That's champion, that is. 50 gallons of honey and just in time for my annual tea and crumpet festival. Pleasure doing business with you, Wallace.
Always aim to please, our bees. That's the last of our bills, Gromit, and we've got just about enough left over for that little holiday we've been planning. This year, I fancy Blackpool. Oh, yes, lad. I think our money troubles are over at last.
Air raid! Air raid! Battle
Oh, dear.
stations everywhere!
Not this again.
Excellent vantage point. Prepare for a crash landing, you devils! Sorry, Wallace, but I'm going to have to commandeer your dining room.
Now, just a minute, Major Crumb.
No time to argue, old man. The whole town's under bombardment.
But
Here they come!
what's an heck, Gromit? Giant bees!
Heaven help the good citizens of West Wallaby Street! Civilians out!
But
That's an order, Wallace. Private Gromit, kindly escort this civilian from the battle zone. That's right, soldier. Help steady my aim. Got him! Not the blatter! Cheeky devils won't stay down! We'll have to crash it into you, blast! Got the blatter! And got away! Back in the air! Blasted! Got him! Blast! And got double blast! And got away! Into you, sir! Got the double blast! Back in the air! Blasted! Double blast! Got the blatter! Auf Wiedersehen to you, sir! Got away! Blast and double back in the air! Blasted! Auf Wiedersehen to you, sir! Got the blatter! For Queen and country, soldier!
good heavens, Gromit, you don't suppose those monsters have anything to do with our honey-making operation, do you? Bumbling heck! My quick grow formula, it didn't just affect the flowers. Just hope it's a wrong number and not more bad news. The living room's out of bounds for now, Gromit. Had to use it for storage. Only temporary, mind. We'll need those crates once the orders start pouring in. Yes, Mr. Paneer. Well, of course you're upset. Being dive-bombed by giant bees isn't good for any business. We're doing all we can to get the situation under control. Normal honey service will be resumed as soon as possible. With normal-sized bees. That's a promise. There's a giant fly in the soup, lad. And it's shaped like a bee. They're taking over the town. Time to read the Riot Act. I am their employer, after all. Oh! They won't listen. They're completely out of control. This honey business has a sting in the tail and no mistake. Oh! Do something, Gromit! Hello, from B to... Oh, Constable Dibbins. I see. But... Careful with the auto-flip frying pan, lad. The timer mechanism is very delicate. It's liable to spring at odd moments. Well, after all, it was an innocent mistake. The ingredient... Well, when you put it that way, Constable Dibbins, yes, sir.
Yoo-hoo! Gromit! Up here! No, Gromit. Only bad dogs rifle through the rubbish. Yoo-hoo! Gromit! Up here! Now, listen to me, nice doggy-wuggy. I'm trapped in this tree by giant bees. Do you understand? You must take a message to your master. I need him to get me down from here. Can you tell him that? Oh, wait a minute. Give him this. It's a note. Oh, tell him to hurry. I can't hold on much longer.
Somebody call the police! Get me out, please! Do something about these trees! I am starving my children cannot get out!
What do you want? No, it's you. Don't tell me you want me to do something about the giant bees. We're on the case, all right? Them buzzing bandits will feel the full weight of the law, make no mistake. But, well, it's complicated. Don't know what the charges would be, exactly. Nothing in the penal code about giant bees, so far as I can see. But rest assured, I'm looking. Oh, and tell that master of yours he left something behind. There was another cheese too, but I kept it for me sandwich. Fair payment for me troubles, says I.
Oh, stop a while, will you? Got no one to natter with today. And you're a real good listener. Oh, blinking Nora, look at Mr. Panea shut up in his shop like a prisoner, and all on account of a few blinking bees. You don't see Winnie Gabberly chucking in the towel. Didn't close during the hedgehog riots of 72, and I ain't closing now. Besides, where would I go if I did? I ain't going back tit flat with old man Gabberly. Not till he says he's sorry. Tossed out all me pansies, he did. Ta then, don't let the bees bite.
Well, after all, it was an innocent mistake. The ingredients. Well,
Mr. Gabble here. I ain't much good at eating humble pie, but I spoke out of turn yesterday. You're not a daft apers after all. What I said to you, I take it all back. You're a credit to the town. Just a minute. What's this? Ah! Giant pigging bees! Oh my giddy heart! There's only one nincompoop round here what could have caused this!
I know Constable Dibbins. Yes, Mr. Pinea said. Yes, I know. It's terrible. Oh, I don't know that I'd say that. Well, after all, it was an innocent mistake. The ingredients.
Again, pet. Nice to see another soul game enough to stand up to them bees, even if it is, pardon the expression, a dog.
Mr. Gabble here. I ain't much good at eating humble pie, but I spoke out of turn yesterday. You're not a daft apers after all. What I said to you, I take it all back. You're a credit to the town.
Well, fighting dogs come limping home. There now, weren't so hard, were it?
Is that you, Winnie? Breaking code of silence, are you?
No need for silence now you've shown a bit of humility.
Humility? Me? Never!
Oh, you don't fool me. You're just a big old softy, and I know it. I need me head examined, keeping shop open when town's crawling with giant bees.
What's got into you, Winnie? Stay back, I say! Oh, Winnie Gabberly!
Sorry for the delay, Mr. Paneer. I think you'll find the streets are now bee-free.
Thank heavens for the boys in blue.
Now, I'll have to ask you to accompany me to the station. There's some paperwork we need to fill out. Nothing too bothersome.
Happy to do my part.
It's citizens like you what make my job a pleasure, Mr. Paneer.
Well. Good work, lad. Seems you took care of the downtown gang good and proper. But so long as they're still supersized, our job's only half done. I'd better get to work on a reverse growth formula. What's this, lad? An SOS note? From Miss Flit. Why didn't you show it me earlier? Hang on, Miss Flit. Help is on the way. Ow! It's no use, lad. The bees outside may be neutralized, but the ones inside are still buzzing mad, and they won't let me leave. It's up to you, Gromit.
Private Gromit, it's looking grim out there. Good man, Private Gromit. Help me bring these blighters down. Caught the blighter. Bag the bounder! Try getting out of that one, fly boy! Auf Wiedersehen to you, sir! Bullseye! Back in the air, blast it! Carry on, soldier! News from the front. Whipping the curs, are we? I've got 'em in my sights, but you can help me finish them off. Missed him. Got the blighter. Blast and double blast. Bullseye. Into the dustbin of history for you, my friend. Keep the faith, soldier. West Wallaby Street needs you.
Is he on his way? This is because I didn't give him the flowers he wanted, isn't it?
The situation is tense, Private. Don't know how much longer I can keep him at bay. Auf Wiedersehen to you, sir. Back in the air, blast it. Into the dustbin of history for you, my friend. Right where he belongs, the fiend. If you see that! Ha! Blew him right out of the sky. That'll teach him. A thrilling sight for you, Private Gromit. Why, I feel like a young man again. Calls for a celebration, Private. Meet you in the mess in 20...
You've pacified all the bees, Gromit. Good lad. I knew I could count on you. That's right. Poor Miss Flit is still trapped in that tree, isn't she?
Help! Get me down from here!
Don't panic. I'm coming, Miss Flit. Oh, it seems I'm underdressed.
Gracious!
Hang on, Miss Flit.
My saviour.
So that's the story, Miss Flit. I'm afraid my miracle growth formula led to some supersized problems.
I hope you're going to get rid of the infernal stuff.
Oh, I am. And rest assured, all the bees have been dealt with safely and humanely.
Well, that's a relief. But weren't you scared facing down an angry swarm of giant bees all by yourself?
Frightened? Oh, well, I was heavily outnumbered, of course, but they soon saw who was boss and that the sting was on the other foot.
I was terrified.
That's only natural, Miss Flit. Well, I had a twinge or two myself at times, you know, but keep a cool head. That's my motto. Look your adversaries square in the eye and never let yourself get carried away. Put me down! Get off! It's got me! Blinking Nora! The Queen's trying to turn me into royal jelly! The ingratitude! After I've built her a hive in solid brass and a magnetronic pollinator thingamajig to take all the hard work out of money making. Oh, I'm beginning to think I should never have mixed this growth formula at all. I ought to chuck it away. Hey! Easy, old girl. No need to get excited. Put me down gently and no one will get hurt. Oh dear, nothing in the beekeeper's manual about aerial abduction. Help! Help! Gromit! Attaboy! I knew you'd come through! Raise the ladder, lad! What are you waiting for, Gromit? Raise the ladder! What are you waiting for, Gromit? Raise the ladder! That's right, lad. Now raise the ladder. Oh! Ah! torn it, the ladder's broken, and I left the spare at home. Lend me a hand, Gromit. Pull me down, lad. Phew! Back on terra firma. Well done, Gromit. Gromit? Gromit! You all right, lad? Oh, good show! We've made it through this little episode in one piece. More than I can say for the autopilot, I'm afraid. Oh, the autopilot! Oh dear, looks like our troubles aren't quite over. Look out behind you, Gromit! Keep her at bay. I'll try and lose her in here. Still plenty of honey in the old tank. Perhaps the honey could use a little kick. Give her the what for, Gromit? Give her a dose of her own medicine, lad. He bagged her, Gromit. Whew, cracking teamwork, lad. Whew, cracking teamwork, lad. I've done it, Gromit. I found the antidote to that pesky growth formula. Now we can finally cut our pea problem down to size. Though there is one small complication.
I'd like a word with you, if you please. I'm this close to having your establishment shut down.
Shut down?
You heard me. These dogs are a public nuisance and an health hazard and all.
Oh dear.
Went bonkers, they did. And all because I tried to clear away that horrible little toy of theirs. I don't approve of litter, you know.
I believe Miss Flit...
I warned Felicity Flit and all, and now she must face the full force of the law. I'm issuing a formal caution for the disruption of lawful quietude. It's the third I've had to write today.
The third?
Aye, the first two got eaten. Give this one to Miss Flit and tell her to remove her animals or I'll be forced to shut the place down. Quiet! Quiet, I say!
Cute little fellas. Oh my. Jeez.